Every time I see new Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee gameplay, I just get more excited. So what are we talking about today? Like, there wasn't a new trailer or any kind of like crazy tweet or update from the Pokemon Company. Well, Japanese YouTube strikes again. So another large Japanese YouTube channel went over to the Game Freak offices. They got exclusive gameplay. They got to demo Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and it actually brings us something new. So the screenshots are going to be from Princess Hime, and it's like Sweet TV or something, and it's Nintendo Switch, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee gameplay. But what makes this different, what makes this new gameplay, is it's not like things we've already seen. With Hajime and Brother 4, it was already stuff we've known about, but this, we go to Vermilion City, we go to Route 6, we see Route 6 gameplay, which lines up with the most recent trailer that happened around mid-August, and there's already new information and cool things to talk about. But what I really like about gameplay like this and new information is that it just strengthens how I feel about the game, because you know, I'm expecting the best out of Game Freak. Like, what people were already thinking is like, oh, well, with the catching mechanic, how are Pokemon going to level up? And the experience is going to be all busted and terrible since we can only level up from trainer battles. Well, since the 6th generation, you gain experience by just catching Pokemon. I actually did a video about this with Pokemon Sun and Moon, that you can beat Pokemon Sun and Moon without even battling a single Pokemon. If you want to check out that video, strongly recommend it. It's just a bunch of fun, and it's also technically a Let's Play, and people have been wanting those from me. So yeah, like, there's these other things. So I mean, people, they see Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, they see the Pokemon Go style catching, and then they immediately just discredit everything. But the more gameplay I see about this, the more comforted I feel. It's like, oh, this is still an amazing 3D Kanto remake that hasn't screwed anything up until this point, because Game Freak is competent as game developers. Go figure. But then we see cool things, like new Pokemon being added into routes. So if we go back to E3 with that gameplay demo, we see Oddish and we see Bulbasaur. We get Bulbasaur. We get a starter Pokemon in Viridian Forest. That's cool. Well, now on Route 6, apparently there's Growlithe. Early access to the Growlithe is always cool, and comparing that to just the existing Pokemon tables, we can see there's quite a few mix-ups and all kinds of fun stuff going on, and seeing the other Pokemon wandering around. You know, we see a Psyduck just kind of walking through the grass. Well, that's originally a surfing Pokemon, but now you can just kind of pick it up and encounter it by walking through grass. Jigglypuff is also a Pokemon they encounter. Then we have like Pidgey, Pidgeotto and stuff, but looking at this, like Oddish, Meowth, Mankey, Abra, Bellsprout, all these Pokemon, no Growlithe. Growlithe is usually found later on in the game, so this is just going to be a cool Pokemon that people will be excited to see, and then that's going to be it. Also, I believe that Growlithe is a version exclusive, so that's going to kind of balance out how the gameplay is going to go as well. And it is. So because our main character has a Pikachu, that means Let's Go Eevee is going to have a version exclusive, and it could just be Vulpix, or however they're going to line up the counterparts for this. Or maybe Growlithe is in all the games, and then there's going to be a different version exclusive. Wait, actually no. Then we can go to the Pokemon website. So yeah, there's a lot of information to keep like collaborating with all this to make sure, to find out what's going on. So yeah, we can see on the website that we have Oddish, Sandshrew, and Growlithe for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and then Pokemon Let's Go Eevee is going to be Bellsprout, Vulpix, and Meowth. So if those are actually like corresponding, then that means we're going to see Meowth there instead of the Growlithe, depending on what version that you get. So people are like, oh yeah, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee is going to be the best one. I mean, Route 6 Growlithe on Let's Go Pikachu, that's going to be pretty cool as well. And then we just see like other little bits of odd gameplay that make this game more exciting to me, and it's something so stupid, like a Pidgeotto getting caught in a corner and then kind of like getting trapped in by the trainers. But I love this. I find this exciting. You want to know why? Dynamic gameplay. This gives the game that open world feel that people have been wanting in Pokemon. That the AI of these following Pokemon aren't going to be completely boxed in, and they can even do derpy stuff, but that's realistic to a life experience. Like, what I really enjoyed about Breath of the Wild is it felt like anything was possible. And, you know, a lot of people want that kind of stuff for Pokemon. We might get it, we might not, but that's not what Let's Go is, and I'm not going to fault the game for not delivering on promises that were never made. So when we look at this Pidgeotto right here, like, yeah, they could wander around, they can just kind of pop up. We've already seen that Pokemon will chase you out of grass, which I think is pretty crazy, but then they can also do this free roaming, and Pidgeottos are far away from home, so depending on how long they're spawned, depending on what they do, they might just like kind of have random trajectories. You know, if it was actually something fixed or something that was supposed to be a bit more programmed, it's not going to just kind of RNG itself into a corner, but it did. So that means there's going to be some fantastic situations you're going to find yourself in with this game. And I think that that's really cool right there. Another thing that I'm really excited is like seeing people's reactions. Watching Hajime when he was playing the game and watching Brother 4, they were happy to play the game. They were excited. You could see these people reliving their childhood and enjoying the game. So I was like a little sketched out when I saw the kid in the middle. He was looking bored. I'm like, all right, maybe he hates it. That means what everyone's saying about Pokemon Let's Go is true, you know? Pre-orders are down, everyone's canceling the game, no one wants it, even the kids are gonna hate it. However, nah, like he was just bored. He was just being a bored kid because the second he got that in his hands, you know, the 2-player activated, he was fun. You know, he was having fun. He was playing as the second player and loving every second of it. And like he almost fell out of the seat, you know, he was literally on the edge of his seat as like the Pokeball was shaking. So it's like, yay! And he was almost falling over how happy he was because he was just excited to play Pokemon, even as like this off two player experience. That's some cool stuff to me, so I really enjoyed that. Also, we get to see Abra. I think that's the thing that a lot of people have been wondering about. Yo, how's Abra going to work in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? Because it doesn't teleport, so it looks like it's going to be easier to catch, but it still has like these interesting mechanics to it. You know, it sways back and forth, so you're going to have to target it. I'm going to imagine that it might even have like a higher flee rate or something like that, so you have less chances to catch it, while it's also moving a little erratically and still has a difficult capture rate shown by the yellow ring that the Pokemon has. So trying to catch Abra is still going to be tricky. I think that's going to be fun if like there's still that frustration factor there with Pokemon that have always had it, or new Pokemon, they're like, no, I want it, but it has to be so tricky to catch. So there's still like cool, fun, exciting features going on, and that Abra Drift, I like it. It even like moves the entire camera, like he moves off screen. That's pretty dope. After that, we head on over to Route 11. So a little maze-like route. That's pretty cool, just kind of continuing and following on our adventure. We pretty much the standard Pokemon, but then we get in a fight with a gambler. Side note, the gambler's model, perfection. I love this. That's how you do it. He's got the dice, he's ready to go, and then it just turns into a Pokemon battle. But something really interesting that ends up happening is that he has a level 26 Diglett. Wait, what? And he also looks like a completely new character because the gamblers in that area, they don't have a Diglett. Actually, also, now that I'm looking at this team, there's a Growlithe and a Vulpix, and then Bellsprout and Oddish. So maybe Vulpix is the counterpart to Growlithe, depending on how these games go. So you're going to run into a Vulpix on Route 6. Now that I'm looking at that, but yeah, so much higher level, and we've already seen this, you know, Lieutenant Surge has a few more levels, trainers that we've seen from later game footage has higher levels, so it's not like this is going to be a baby down easier game or something like people keep claiming. We're seeing these weird power spikes and stuff like that. But the thing is, it's such a high level, and there's another trainer, so we'd see an engineer with a level 18 Vulpix. That makes sense. Engineers, they specialize in electric-type Pokemon. The level 18 lines up with Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow version, like we've seen. So what's the deal with this level 26? Is there actually like one dude that just backhands you on every route that has like super over-leveled Pokemon or something that actually becomes a challenge? That would be pretty wild. That would make things really fancy, but also, does it maybe bring up the possibility of rematching? We don't know what was done on this save file before. We don't know if it was fresh. We don't know if there was like little bits of things that were kind of seeded in, or however it ended up playing out. So that's going to make things a little more hard to predict. But why is there a level 26 when then there's also a level 18? So if there's rematches, that's going to be cool, but doing that during the storyline to get such high level Pokemon, I don't know if that's a thing. Or like I said, there's just a strong dude that you might run into. It's like, oh crap, I was not prepared. So it looks like even the difficulty of Pokemon Let's Go is something that, you know, people are just wrong about in their hatred about the games. And remember, the Kanto story is kind of brutal on its own, so I don't see this being Pokemon Sun and Moon hand-holding experience with like all the easiness that we've seen in the, you know, the recent games. There could be some challenge here just from the level vamp up that we've been seeing. And then one of the last things to note is that we see the travel trunk. So this is well beyond my time of data mining and Pokemon news and stuff like that. I got into Pokemon like YouTubing almost 5 years ago after Pokemon X and Y came out. Like X and Y came out, I was playing the games, I was doing Minecraft videos. I'm like, wait a second, I'm good at Pokemon. No one's doing guides like I am. I'm gonna make videos, and then that's really what inspired me. But I wasn't in on like that, you know, the 6th generation Koro just dropped a new Pokemon, oh my god, get ready for Pokemon X and Y news, and then the data mining is here. You know, data mining didn't really hit my radar until Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire data mined all the Mega Evolutions, because broken game demo stuff. Like, we didn't have these shenanigans. And also, like, now that PK Hex and data mining has become a lot more centralized and mainstream, after that, I'm just finding out about a few of these things. Like, while everyone was losing their minds over the strange souvenir in Pokemon Sun and Moon, apparently the travel trunk was just an unused thing that didn't really happen with Pokemon X and Y, but it's actually made a return, or it made an appearance in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So we have this tweet. Looks like Pokemon X and Y unused gold travel trunk is used in Pokemon Let's Go. I don't think anyone's noticed or pointed this out until now, coming from that video, and then that's what stores all of your Pikachu stuff. So kind of like the lens case, kind of like anything that holds apparel for Pokemon or trainers or stuff like that. So it was there, and then it wasn't used, and then it's good to go. So data mining is kind of freaky like that. Like in Omega Green Alpha Sapphire, the strange souvenir, or wait, was that actually no, X and Y had the strange souvenir as well. That just kind of predicted Alola long before, just out of shenanigans, and it also shows like the game development's pretty far ahead as well. There's all kinds of fun, crazy stuff that goes on with Pokemon. So there we go, guys. I think that's really all that we can extract for now. I will do a thing covering the Eevee because we get to see Eevee's stats, and that's going to make the next video really fancy. There we go. So guys, enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee looks better every time I see it. Thank you very much for watching.